Hey YouTube, it's Clash1990, and today I am bringing you a Pauper deck list for Deathspeaker. And I will say the Pauper format for sorcery uses exceptional cards as well. I'm taking it a step further and only using ordinary cards. And a true Pauper format is just all commons. So, and I think it can be done and done quite well because there are some powerful ordinaries in this game. And the avatar I'm choosing, obviously is Deathspeaker. It's one of my favorite avatars, like this and Druid. I keep swapping between which one's my favorite, and I honestly just can't make up my mind. So, figured I would do a deck list for both of them and start with Deathspeaker. So I'll go over the everything here, all the minions, and if you don't know Deathspeaker's thing, it's essentially once per turn you can recast a dead minion, but as soon as it comes into play, it banishes itself, like it gets rid of itself permanently. But any Genesis or enter play effects get the trigger off of that minion. So that's the little shtick that it's bringing to the table. So this is an air, earth, fire list. So of course I'm running Land Surveyor. I will say everything in the deck is only a single threshold. Since we're 3-color and a Pauper format, we don't have the dual lands, so I shied away from any 2 threshold cards just to save ourselves some trouble drawing the right sites. But this deck draws a ton of cards in general, both sites and spells. So, Land Surveyor being one of them. It's just a good defensive body that also draws a site when it comes into play, and then you can replay it off of Deathspeaker to draw another site to try and dig for whatever thresholds you're missing. Sacred Scarabs isn't necessarily a Genesis ability card, but it's just really good removal. It's a 2-cost, 1-power airborne minion, and when it dies, it does 3 damage to everything else there, and we have ways to get rid of it ourselves without having to attack into anything. Vile Imp is just a staple for Deathspeaker. It's a 2-cost, 2-power minion, and on Genesis, deal 2 damage to a unit, or an adjacent unit, I should say. And then Apprentice Wizard is also a Deathspeaker staple. 3-cost, 1-power spellcaster, Genesis draw spell, and this is where we're getting a lot of our draw power from here. We have a lot of removal here, and we have a lot of site draw here as well. Cauldron Cones is another draw card thing. It's a spellcaster, 3-cost, 1-power, just like Apprentice Wizard. On Genesis, you can sacrifice another minion here to draw a spell, so we can sacrifice our scarabs if need be, if we're in like a weird sort of situation where attacking might be bad or whatnot. We can just play the Cauldron Crones and sack it out and just blow everything up there if our opponent's like on our site, threatening our position. And then these last 2 cards I would consider to be minion staples for the elements that they're in. Plume Pegasus, a 3-drop, 3-power airborne minion. Just all around good value. Airborne in this game is very good, so having 4, 3-cost, 3-power airborne minions is great. And then Amazon Warriors is a 5-cost, 5-power minion. It's one of the bigger minions in the Pauper format, if not the biggest. It's one of the reasons to run Earth, along with Common Sense, but I'll get into that in a minute. So that's all the minions. It's a good spread of non-Genesis with Genesis, and we're going to be cycling through our deck pretty heavily with this lineup here. So for the spells or the magic cards, running 4 Blink. It's a staple for air in general. You can teleport something nearby and then draw a spell, so it replaces itself. Common Sense is completely busted in this format. It's straight up Demonic Tutor, and it's like the reason to run Earth, I think. Being a 2-cost, you can search your spellbook for any ordinary card, reveal it, add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So for consistency purposes, it's basically making all of these be 8. Like you have 8 of them in your deck, essentially, with Common Sense, but you can search out, whatever you need at the moment you need it. And then for removal, we have 4 Firebolts. This is just a good removal piece. It's also good for killing the Avatar when they're on Death's Door. Same with Lightning Bolt. Again, these don't care about being adjacent or nearby or whatever. This is just shooting projectiles. This can target any site. Very, very good staple cards for their colors. We're also running 4 Bury, just to get rid of any like Amazon Warriors that are on our turf. And then finally, I have 2 copies of Grapple Shot. Just another cool, fun, honestly, very overtuned ordinary card as a late game finisher. And then the sites, nothing really special here because, there's not the largest card pool for ordinary sites. Basically, just a bunch of deserts for cheap removal, a bunch of villages for cheap dude creation. We have the towers in here, not a lot of them, just honestly the four of these, and the other air sites I chose for utility purposes. But if we have this on turn one, or ideally turn two, we can drop an apprentice wizard on turn two. Forge, really good in this format, just creating lance tokens early on, really good. Lookout, being able to look at our opponent's hand, play this out to see if it's safe to play, like an Amazon Warrior or a Plume Pegasus to see if they have any answers for it. And if they don't, we can safely play it. Hopefully it'll top deck an answer for it, but still. And then finally, Treetop Hideout. It can just give a nearby allied minion stealth, which is very good. So yeah, the name of the game here is just card advantage. That's kind of just Deathspeaker in general, even in the open way to play. Card advantage, and then draw your finishers, draw your removal pieces, and just outwin your opponent through value, essentially. So anyway, that is the deck. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. I've played a couple Pauper games, and they are pretty fun. It's just like Pauper and Magic. There's certain metas and stuff that are forming, and I think it's a lot of fun. Though I'm going to stick with just pure ordinaries because it gets a little. It doesn't feel like a Pauper format when the exceptionals are included in this format, because the exceptionals honestly are, most of them are better than like most of the elites and uniques in the game, and this definitely feels like you're working with more of a constraint than adding the exceptionals. So again, let me know what you think about my viewpoint on Pauper as well, with exceptionals not being included. And yeah, thank you all for checking out the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll catch you all later. See ya.